If you had told me that the child I raised with my own trembling hands would one day drug me, lock me away, and sell the home I built brick by brick, I would have laughed. But that was before I woke up in a nursing home I didn't recognize, and before I learned just how far greed can rot a man's soul. My name is Samuel Hart, and at 76 years old, I believed I had seen everything life had to offer. Joy, heartbreak, war, love, loss, all of it. But nothing, prepared me for the day I woke up in a beige room that smelled like bleach and loneliness. At first, my eyes refused to focus. The ceiling was low, unfamiliar. There was a soft beeping somewhere behind me, like a heart monitor. And then I smelled it, that strange, sterile scent. I knew instantly I wasn't in my home. I tried sitting up, but my limbs felt heavy, thick, as if I were swimming in mud. My tongue felt like cotton. I tried to call out, but only a whisper came. A nurse walked in, wearing a name tag that read, Linda. "Oh, good, Mr. Hart. You're awake," she said sweetly. I forced the words out. "Where am I?" "You're in Sunny Acres Nursing Home," she replied. Sunny Acres. I had never even heard of the place. My heart pounded as I tried to remember the last thing before waking up here. I remembered dinner at home, soup made by my son Eric. He'd insisted on cooking for me. I remembered the strange bitterness in the broth. I remembered him watching me, too closely, and then nothing. The nurse must have seen the panic rise in my face. "Don't worry. Sweetheart," she said. "Your son signed all the papers. You'll be safe here. Safe!" My blood turned to ice. "My son signed what papers?" I croaked. "Oh, don't worry. Everything is taken care of. You won't have to worry about the house anymore either. It's been sold." The words hit me like a punch to the chest. Sold. My house. The house I built with my late wife. I felt the room spin again, but this time not from drugs, from betrayal. T-R-E-L-N-I-Z-I-O-N. For 2 days I pretended to be groggy, confused, the helpless old man they assumed I was. But inside, I was fully awake. I learned quickly that according to their paperwork, I was now too mentally compromised to live alone, thanks to the documents my son signed. Documents I had never seen. Documents with a shaky, fake version of my signature. And the house, my house, sold, gone, just like that. I thought of my late wife, Margaret. The rose bushes she planted. The porch swing we'd built together. The bedroom we raised our son in. Everything ripped away without a single goodbye. And for what? Money. The first CLUE 3 nights in, I overheard something. A nurse said to another, "His son is coming next week to pick up the last payment." Something about transferring the remaining funds. Funds. So that was it. Eric hadn't just sold the house. He was waiting to collect the rest of the money. There was still time. Time to fight back. I played the role of the confused old man perfectly. I shuffled slowly. I asked what day it was 3 times. I ate quietly. I nodded, smiled. But I was observing everything. The layout of the halls. Which cameras were broken. What time the night shift nurse took her smoke break. Where the office kept their keys. Most importantly, I learned the phone in the staff room didn't require a passcode to dial out. T-Cheesecapie at 3:22 a.m. on a Thursday. The night nurse slipped outside for her usual cigarette. I eased out of my bed. My legs were still weak, but adrenaline kept me upright. I walked slowly to the staff room. My heart was beating so loudly I worried it would set off the alarms. I grabbed the phone, and I dialed one number I memorized more than 60 years ago, my childhood best friend, Frank.
"Hello." His voice was groggy. "Frank."
I whispered.
"It's Sam."
"My son drugged me. He put me in a nursing home. He sold my house. I need your help." There was silence. Then the old lion roared back to life. "Stay where you are. I'm coming." The rescue. Frank arrived with his truck 20 minutes later. He demanded to see me. The nurses refused. Frank was never a man who accepted. No. He shoved past them, found me in the hallway, and yelled loud enough that every door in the building opened. "He's of sound mind, and if you touch him again, I'll sue this place into the ground." The threat must have worked. Or maybe the nurses knew something was off in the paperwork. Because they didn't stop us as we walked out. For the first time in days, I breathed fresh air. I cried. I didn't care who saw. Tichiko Afroan Titino, and we went straight to my family lawyer, who was shocked, absolutely shocked, to see me alive and standing. When your son filed the mental incompetence forms, he said carefully, it claimed you didn't want visitors. We spent hours unraveling the fraud, the forged signatures, the illegal sale, the bank transfers. Every thread of betrayal pulled tighter around my son. The lawyer told us something chilling. Your son has committed multiple felonies. He will go to prison. I nodded, but I wanted to look him in the eyes first. The Mentengwoi Th Moi So, and Eric walked into the lawyer's office smiling, actually smiling, until he saw me. Dad, you're awake, awake, as if he expected me not to be. I looked at the man I raised, the little boy who once held my finger when he learned to walk, and I barely recognized him. I asked one simple question, one that burned in my chest. Why? He stared at the floor. I needed the money, Dad. The house was worth a lot. You weren't using it. You don't understand how hard life is. I leaned forward. Hard? You think life is hard? I buried my wife. I raised you alone. I worked 3 jobs so you wouldn't starve. And you repay me by poisoning me. He swallowed. It wasn't poison, just something to make you sleep for a while. My voice cracked. You stole my home. You stole my dignity. And you left me to die. Because that's what would have happened. You drugged me. Signed papers behind my back. You wanted me gone. And then the final truth slipped out of him, weak, pitiful, and small. I thought, if you were out of the way, everything would finally be easier. It didn't hurt because it was shocking. It hurt because, deep inside, I had feared this moment for years. THJC, the case moved quickly. Fraud, forgery, elder abuse, illegal confinement. Eric was sentenced to 8 years in prison. He cried when they took him away. I didn't. The court reversed the sale of my house. Every penny returned, every lie undone. And Sunny Acres, shut down for illegal admissions and falsified patient records. After me now, I sit on my old porch swing, the one Margaret and I built. Sometimes the boards creak like an old man's bones. Sometimes the roses don't bloom like they used to. But it's home, my home. People ask if I miss my son, and I tell them the truth. I miss the boy I raised, not the man he became, but I am not broken, I am not defeated, I am not done. Because the thing about being old is we've already survived everything life could throw at us. So betrayal, greed, abandonment, those are just storms, and storms always pass.